Did you know the very first forbidden romance movie ever made starred a woman twice the man's age, and it scandalized an entire country? Today we're looking at 10 movies where older women and younger men create chemistry so powerful, so dangerous, it simply cannot be stopped. And one of these endings will genuinely shock you. 1. All That Heaven Allows, 1955. Imagine this. You are a widow living in a rich, quiet suburb in New England. You wear the right clothes, you go to the right parties, you do everything society tells you to do. Then your gardener shows up. That is exactly what happens to Carrie Scott, played by Jane Wyman. She is a lonely widow. He is Ron Kirby, played by Rock Hudson. He is young, strong, and free. Everything she is not allowed to be. Their age gap is big. Their world gap is even bigger. Her adult children are horrified. Her friends treat her like she did something criminal. All she did was fall in love. This 1955 film is almost 70 years old, but the message hits just as hard today. Society has always had rules about who you are allowed to love. 2. The Graduate, 1967. Now jump forward to 1967. And meet the movie that basically invented the older woman, younger man genre. Benjamin Braddock just graduated college. He has no idea what he wants to do with his life. And then Mrs. Robinson walks in. She is the wife of his father's business partner. She is elegant. She is bored. And she is very, very interested in Benjamin. Dustin Hoffman plays Benjamin. Anne Bancroft plays Mrs. Robinson. Their chemistry is electric and uncomfortable at the same time. The affair is built on secret hotel room meetups and hushed phone calls. It feels thrilling and wrong in equal parts. But here is where it gets truly messy. Benjamin starts to fall for Mrs. Robinson's own daughter, Elaine. Yes, you read that right. The same young man sleeping with the mother falls in love with the daughter. This film became a cultural phenomenon. The word Mrs. Robinson literally entered the English language as a phrase. 3. White Palace, 1990. Fast forward to 1990. And now we add another layer on top of age. We add class. Max Barron is 27 years old. He is polished, educated, and grieving the death of his young wife. He lives in a neat, organized world where everything has its place. Then he meets Nora Baker. She is 43. She works at a fast food diner. She is loud, messy, and fiercely alive in a way Max has completely forgotten how to be. James Spader plays Max. Susan Sarandon plays Nora, and the chemistry between them is undeniable. But Max is ashamed. He hides Nora from his friends. He cannot bring himself to introduce her at parties. She is not what his wealthy social circle would approve of. This movie is really two stories at once. It is a love story, and it is a story about how we let other people's opinions shrink our lives. Susan Sarandon is absolutely magnetic here. She never lets you forget that Nora deserves every single bit of love she gets. 4. Notes on a Scandal, 2006. Now we shift gears completely, because this one is not just a romance. This one is a thriller. Sheba Hart is a new art teacher at a rough London school. She is played by Cate Blanchett. She is beautiful, naive, and makes one very serious mistake. She begins a secret relationship with one of her 15-year-old students. This is illegal. It is career-ending, and Sheba knows it. But here is the twist that makes this movie truly unforgettable. Sheba's secret is discovered by Barbara, a bitter, calculating older history teacher played by Judi Dench. And Barbara does not report it. Instead, she uses it. Barbara holds Sheba's secret like a weapon. She uses it to pull Sheba closer and closer, feeding her own loneliness and obsession. So you have two forbidden stories running at the same time. One is the illegal relationship between Sheba and her student. The other is the deeply unhealthy psychological grip Barbara has over Sheba. 2 Oscar-winning actresses. Razor-sharp writing. Judi Dench gives one of the most chilling performances of her entire career. This movie will make you genuinely uncomfortable. and you will not be able to look away. 5-7, 2014. Not every forbidden romance is dark and heavy. Sometimes it is just heartbreaking in a softer, quieter way. Brian is 24 years old. He is an aspiring novelist living in New York City. He meets Arielle, a stunning, sophisticated 33-year-old French woman at a bus stop in Manhattan. They fall for each other fast and hard. But here is the catch. Arielle is married. Her husband is a French diplomat, and she follows a traditional French arrangement where a married person may spend time with another partner between 5 and 7 in the evening. That is it. 2 hours a day. No more. Anton Yelchin plays Brian. Berenice Marlowe plays Arielle. And watching their love bloom inside these tiny, stolen windows of time is genuinely beautiful. Brian is a traditional romantic. He struggles every single day with the rules of this arrangement. He gets 2 hours of the most amazing connection of his life. And then she goes home to her husband. This film is witty and warm and ultimately quite sad. It asks a simple question. Can love be real if it only exists inside a 2-hour window? The answer the movie gives you is more complicated than you might expect. 6. Adore, 2013. Now here is a film that takes the word complicated and stretches it to its absolute limits. Lil and Roz are best friends. They have been best friends their whole lives. They live side by side in a gorgeous, sun-soaked beach town in Australia. Naomi Watts plays Lil. Robin Wright plays Roz. Their sons grow up together. These boys swim together, surf together, and grow into handsome young men. And then something unthinkable happens. Each woman begins a passionate, secret affair with the other's son. Yes, Lil falls for Roz's son. Roz falls for Lil's son. At the same time. This film is based on a Doris Lessing novella called The Grandmothers. It is not trying to be shocking for the sake of it. It is genuinely exploring what happens when desire ignores every single boundary that society builds. The beach setting is gorgeous and almost dreamlike, but underneath that beauty is constant, creeping anxiety. Because these 4 people are trapped together, they cannot simply walk away from each other. Their small paradise becomes its own kind of cage. Naomi Watts and Robin Wright are both exceptional here. If you can handle the premise, this is a surprisingly thoughtful film about love, loyalty, and the things we cannot control. 7. The Idea of You, 2024. Okay, let us talk about the movie that took over the internet in 2024. Anne Hathaway plays Solène. She is 40 years old, divorced, runs an art gallery, and is raising a teenage daughter on her own. Life is fine, not exciting, just fine. Then, at a music festival, she accidentally walks into the wrong trailer. Inside that trailer is Hayes Campbell. He is 24. He is the lead singer of August Moon, the world's biggest boy band. He is played by Nicholas Galitzine, and the man is genuinely magnetic on screen. They connect instantly. And then the relationship begins. Here is what this film gets right that so many romance movies get wrong. It does not pretend the age gap does not matter. The 16-year difference is a real topic between them. It causes real tension. But the bigger problem? Hayes is one of the most famous people on the planet. The paparazzi follow him everywhere. The internet fandom is obsessive and often cruel. And Solène's teenage daughter is a huge fan of Hayes' band, which creates an incredibly awkward dynamic that the film handles with surprising honesty. This is the rare romance film where the female lead is 40 and treated as fully desirable, fully complex, and fully human. Anne Hathaway is at her absolute best here. A warm film with real emotional weight. 8. Queen of Hearts, 2019. This Danish film is not comfortable. We need to say that clearly up front. Genuinely disturbing to watch. What makes this film so remarkable is that it refuses to let you look away from the truth of who Anne really is. She does not fall apart. She does not crumble with guilt. She manages the situation the same way she manages her courtroom, with cold, calculated precision. Trina Dyrholm won the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin International Film Festival for this performance, one of the most prestigious acting awards in the world. This is not an easy watch, but it is an important one. Some of the most fascinating films are the ones that make you deeply uncomfortable. 9. May-December 2023. If Queen of Hearts made you uneasy, May-December will make you feel like the floor has been pulled out from underneath you. This film is directed by Todd Haynes, one of the most celebrated directors working today, and it is based loosely on a real American tabloid scandal. Gracie, played by Julianne Moore, and Joe, played by Charles Melton, are a married couple living a seemingly quiet suburban life in Savannah, Georgia. They have children together. They have a garden. They bake cakes. But here is what happened before all that. When Joe was 13 years old, Gracie, a fully grown adult woman, began a relationship with him. She went to prison. She gave birth to his child while incarcerated. And when she got out, they got married and built a life together. The film begins when a famous actress, played by Natalie Portman, arrives to research Gracie for an indie film role. What unfolds is one of the most psychologically layered films in years. The actress peels back the domestic surface to reveal something deeply fragile and troubling underneath. Charles Melton is the true revelation of this film. His performance as Joe, a man who has never really been allowed to process what happened to him, is quiet, precise, and devastating. He won multiple critics' awards for this role, and he absolutely deserves every single one. This film does not give you easy answers. It gives you harder questions, and that is exactly what great cinema is supposed to do. 10. The Reader, 2008. And we have saved the most emotionally devastating film on this list for last. The Reader is set in post-World War II Germany. Michael Berg is 15 years old. He falls ill on his way home one day and is helped by a woman named Hannah Schmitz. She is in her mid-30s. She is a tram conductor. Once Michael recovers, he goes back to thank her. And a secretive, intense relationship begins. Part of their ritual is Michael reading classic literature aloud to her, novels, poetry, stories. Hannah listens with deep, quiet focus. David Cross plays the young Michael, Kate Winslet plays Hannah, and Kate Winslet won the Academy Award for Best Actress for this performance. But here is where the film transforms completely. Years later, Michael is now a law student. He is sitting in on trials for Nazi war crimes. And he sees Hannah in the courtroom, not as a witness, but as a defendant. She is on trial for horrific crimes she committed as an SS concentration camp guard. The young man who once read her poetry is now watching her stand trial for atrocities. The film asks a question with no clean answer. Can you separate the person you loved from the things they have done? Can love and guilt exist inside the same heart at the same time? This is the kind of film that stays with you for years. It is heavy. It is heartbreaking. And it is one of the finest performances Kate Winslet has ever given, which is saying something extraordinary, because her entire career is exceptional. 10 films, 10 forbidden connections. From a 1955 garden to a 2024 boy band tour bus, these stories prove one thing: the heart does not check a birth certificate. Which of these movies hit you the hardest? Let us know below. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.